Doc, how's my Parasect looking?
I'm sorry, son. The cordyceps has almost completely consumed your Parasect. He's more mushroom than Pokémon now.
What do you mean? He's my best buddy. Are you saying he's not going to get any better?
This is never easy. The best thing we can do for,
Kang.
Yes, Kang. The best thing we can do for him now is make him comfortable and make his last hour a happy one. What he needs from you is your strength and the knowledge that he isn't going through this alone. He is loved.
I guess you're right. Oh, Kang, I'm going to be here for you every step of the way. Wait a minute. Did you just say he had an hour left?
Yeah, based on our best estimates, but...
Oh boy, that's enough time to defeat the Pokemon League. Come on, Kang. We're going to get you out of here.
Wait, no! Come back! Jesus Christ, what a barbaric world.
Hey. Bit of a different one today. This isn't a gym leader challenge or a Pokémaths, it's a disgusting solo run. This was a community race hosted by Scott's Thoughts, where a group of Pokemaniacs got together, ran the same Pokemon through the same game, using Scott's rules and his overlay, and just to see who could finish the game quickest. I'm a bit late in releasing this video, as Scott's race video was a few weeks ago now, but it's safe to say by now you've seen more Parasect than you'd ever thought possible. So in the interest of sparing you any more shroomage, I'll try and make this a quick one. The rules are pretty standard if you've seen solo Pokemon content before. Only allowed to use one Pokemon, no items in battle other than balls to catch HM users, playing at 4x speed, ranking based on real time spent completing the game. The overlay will be familiar if you've seen Scott's stuff. It's a mixture of pre-made images, gamehook and HTML that are used to bring the live stats onto the screen, which is really cool. So like now you'll see our speed stat visibly dropping on screen as we wrestle with these Caterpies and their string shots. Another thing the gamehook HTML combo is responsible for is making sure everyone's Parasect has perfect DVs, which removes the RNG of resetting until you get a good starter. And also Surge's puzzle is solved, removing that RNG too. The strat for Brock was to spam Leech Life against the Geodude, and then for Onyx, paralyze with Stun Spore. Brock famously has 5 full heals per Pokemon, but thankfully due to a Gen 1 quirk, even after healing paralysis the speed drop remains. And so now we're able to outspeed the Onyx for the rest of the fight, and whittle him down with some more Leech Lives. You'd be forgiven for thinking the next challenge in this run would be Misty, but it's actually this junior trainer. She has a level 19 Goldeen who is run ending. Armed with Supersonic, Tail Whip and Peck, this fish is a right pain. Lowering our defense, smashing us with 4x super effective Peck, or confusing us and letting us knock ourselves out. At this point I allowed myself one reset against this trainer. Any more and I'd restart the run, which happened an upsetting amount of time. But we get the luck today and the run can continue. And Misty is a piece of cake after that. Thanks to her good AI, Misty avoids using water moves against our grass bug Pokemon, and so we can calmly bring her Starfish down as they attack us using weak tackles and hardens. After Nugget Bridge and saving Bill, we hurry on back to Cerulean, and the lizard that controls my brain takes over. We have plenty of HP and power points for now. I don't need to go to the Pokemon Center. But I hop the fence out of muscle memory and then pause for a second, realizing my mistake, before dragging myself the long way around. It doesn't seem like much, but RNG events like wild encounters and enemy move choices aren't the only thing that can differentiate a good speed run from a bad one. Player movement and menu management play a massive part, and all of my little insignificant mistakes really add up over the course of this run. We're in Vermilion now, and haven't healed since Nugget Bridge. The idea is that if we can make it through the SSN and Surge without healing, we can use our newly acquired Dig TM to dig back to the last Pokemon Center we used, thus skipping a whole load of backtracking, as our next destination is Rock Tunnel just east of Cerulean. As this is Pokemon Yellow, Surge only has a Raichu, and he's very easily one-shot with Dig. We then grab a free Squirtle to go with our previously acquired free Charmander, do some bag management, and dig back to Cerulean. We then face the long dark of Rock Tunnel. And luckily we do have memory of this place, as the time taken to catch enough Pokemon to get the Flash HM would be a massive time waste, so fumbling around in the dark is our only option. We emerge from the cave hungry, so head over to Celadon's Mart to do some selling and vitamin buying. This is run 16 of my attempts, so by now I know roughly what speed I need to be to outspeed certain hurdles coming up, so I spend all my money on Carbos to get our mushroom moving. I also bought a Pokédoll, as this allows us to skip the Rocket Game Corner segment by ending the Pokemon Tower Marowak fight without a Silph Scope. But before Pokemon Tower, it's time for Erica. We aren't in too much trouble here, No one has anything that can actually hurt Parasect in this gym. The worst that happens is we get poisoned, which is more annoying than anything else. Erica's plants are put to sleep, body slammed and sucked dry. And that's something I forgot to mention, Parasect's greatest strength, Spore. It's an 100% accurate sleep move, and in Gen 1 that is even more broken than it sounds. Check out the sleep episode of my Pokémath series for more details, but long story short, sleep is brutal in this generation. The only thing Parasect needs is more speed. Hopefully the Carbos will help, but if not, Parasect does have another trick up his sleeve later. Cut to Cycling Road. We've got the Poké Flute from Mr. Fuji, and we've sent the Snorlax back to the mountains, and somehow we're poisoned again. There are hidden items all over Kanto, and a few of them are rare candies, which are really important for a solo run. Getting a Pokemon from level 60 to 61 will take so much grinding, or it'll take 2 seconds with a rare candy. Speaking of, there's one hidden in this grass. But the speed of the bike, the 4x speed of the game, it's a killer, and the flashing of the screen due to the poison isn't helping. I bump into this trainer, wasting more time, and some more of Parasect's HP. Finally we get the candy, but Jesus, if this wasn't attempt 16 I'd have restarted the game all over again at this point. Koga time. We've grabbed Surf and the gold teeth already and shoved a few more vitamins into Kang in the interest of outspeeding these awful Venonats. We outspeed the 3 Venonats and it's Spore and Leech Life on the menu for them. We don't outspeed the Moth, but we are able to tank 1 Leech Life of his before we put it to sleep and do our thing. It's Sylph next for some more vitamins, and also a handy TM called Sword Stance. I'm not putting 10 minutes aside in this video to explain the badge boost glitch, when there's already a Pokémath for that very thing right here. The too long didn't read of it all as Gen 1 is broken. When stats get modified, all of the stats you have badges for increase temporarily. And so we can use this attack boosting move to increase our speed, allowing us to outspeed, Spore, and destroy anyone who stands in our way. No need to try this new technique too hard with Sabrina. 1 Sword Stance is enough to give us the attack boost to demolish her defensively weak psychic types with our physical body slams. We do our final vitamin grab in Cinnabar, then it's on to Blaine, our next major hurdle. In previous attempts I was torched alive and outsped. What we need now is more badge boosts. I used some rare candies to get to level 48 where we learn Growth. This will allow us to badge boost 6 times instead of 3, and also buffs our special, which might help us to survive some of Blaine's fire. But no need to test that today, as a massive sleep allows us to fully set up against the Ninetales, and then Dig handles the fox and the horse, with a final Spore and some body slams to finish off the dog. You'll have to take my word for it that that fight was usually awful in my previous attempts. This run has been going too well. Time for some resets. Giovanni's Dug Trio is just the worst. With a healthy dose of sand in our eyes, we miss everything after our growth setup, and I reset out of rage. Attempt number 2, I instantly get sanded again, and rather than tempt fate, I just reset. 3rd time's lucky and we get the moles to sleep, fully set up, and then sweep with a variety of digs and body slams. It gets a bit dicey towards the end, but our fun guy made it through. Off to the league. We eat a single rare candy before Lorelei, as leveling up mid-battle negates our glitchy badge boosts, so popping a candy beforehand is a good way of reducing the chance of that happening. Then it's pretty much the same story as every other fight has been. Spore, setup, sweep. I've kept a physical moveset for now. Sword Stance would have been a lot more effective than Growth. This is why I'm having to Spore every new Pokemon I fight, because whilst my attack stat has been badge boosted 6 times, it's not nearly as high as it would have been if I was Sword Stancing. But Mega Drain will be popping up in my moveset at some point, and also 6 badge boosts to my speed allow me to outspeed some pains in the ass later, whereas 3 badge boosts from Sword Stance might not have done the trick. And before we know it, we're through Lorelei, and onto the biggest threat the league has to offer. Oh wait, never mind, it's Bruno. You know the drill. Sleep, setup, outspeed, knockout. No worries there. We pop one of our 2 remaining candies and restore our power points. No need for heal as we took no damage off Bruno. Agatha's Gengar could be a problem as it outspeeds, but thankfully he goes for a weak Mega Drain instead of something actually threatening. Then from there we put them to sleep and set up, as Agatha decides whether she wants Gengar or Golbat out. 1 dig takes out the Gengar, 2 body slams for the bat, a dig for the Haunter, a dig for the Snake, and 1 final dig for the second Gengar. Easy peasy. We gobble up that final rare candy, teach Mega Drain over dig, heal that 4 damage, you never know, restore our power points, and it's on to Lance. Gyarados is almost a problem as he blasts half our health off with a Hyper Beam, but now it's time for him to sleep. We fully set up as usual and suck him dry. A body slam apiece for the Dragonairs, a Mega Drain for the Aerodactyl, who we now outspeed thanks to the 6 speed badge boosts, and 2 final body slams for the Dragonite. I use my final elixir and it's on to the champion. I'll give you 2 guesses how we're going to start. Well, if you said put the Sandslash to sleep and set up 6 growths, you'd be wrong. Yep, we only set up 3, which is enough for Mega Drain to finish off the Shrew. The reason being that we're out of rare candies now, and we're going to level up mid-fight, and we need those speed badge boosts to defeat the Flareon. It's the tried and tested Sleep and Slam combo for Alakazam, Executor and Magneton, and now we level up, and we see our speed has gone down from the badge boosted 148 to the annoyingly correct 95. We thankfully survive an Ice Beam from Cloyster and don't get frozen, and now we're free to sneak in 2 more growths, getting our speed to 119. Blue's Flareon has a speed of 99, so we comfortably outspeed. No flamethrowers today. A couple more body slams, and we're the champion. The timer stops at 54 minutes and 47 seconds, putting us in 10th-ish place, maybe? My main goal for this competition was to get under an hour. This was attempt 16, like I said, and this was my first one to hit sub-hour, so I'm really pleased with this performance. After watching Scott's video, I now see what I should have done. Using my rare candies at different times, not doing as many optional battles as I did, utilising Mimic. Maybe next time. So, in terms of what's coming next on the channel, I'd like to get back into doing more regular-ish videos. Next up will be yet another Scott's Thoughts race submission, which was really fun. That's Smeargle in Pokemon Yellow. I'll be following that up with a Pokémaths on experience groups in Generations 1, 2 and 3, and then the long-awaited Blaine Gym Leader Challenge video. I just need Officer Jenny to record her lines. So watch this space. Thanks for watching. See you next time.